All right, welcome everybody to our show and tell for RUAC Spoon Challenge 47, our template for a scoop graciously provided by Mr. Russell West from London in the UK. I'm sure this was a challenge. There's a fair amount of wood to hog off, depending on, of course, on the size of the scoop that you're making. But this was a really cool template. I myself, unfortunately, because of work and just crazy life, have not had a chance to carve again one of these for this template challenge, but hopefully all of you have something to show today. And I guess, Russ, I'm gonna just spotlight you. And if you wanna Russ, by the way, in case you haven't seen it on our YouTube channel, Russ did a phenomenal little animated video demo and talk of his process for carving these. It's a fantastic video. And he also talks, about what went into his design considerations and all of that. So check that out if you haven't seen it already. I'm going to spotlight you, Russ, and why don't you just say whatever it is you'd like to say before we get going?
Well, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for giving it a go. When I put up the scoop profile, I thought to myself, okay, so this is a challenge, right? But if you decide to do a big one of these things, it's going to take a while. And I must admit, I've been blown away by what I've seen. So really looking forward to seeing what folk have caught up with. It's not a spoon, it's a scoop, but I think it qualifies because it's got a bowl and it's got a handle to it. So I think that's okay for the RUAC spoon challenge, just about.
Yeah, it's kind of become a RUAC, just general Sloyd green woodworking challenge. I mean,
something out of wood, yeah.
Yeah, between racks that we've done and other non-spoon items, it's kind of, we've broadened our horizons a bit, but we are trying to kind of stay in that general vein.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of the stuff that folk have been given a go at, I've been delighted. And I must admit, quite pleasantly surprised as well. I've done probably a couple of dozen of these things, and I'll be frank with you, the first couple I did, I messed up big time. So the fact that people have done what they've done is just fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing what folk have come up with, and then I'll wait to the end and I'll show you what I've done. Mine's not finished, but if anybody wants to try who hasn't tried so far, and you missed the video, what have you, if you want to give it a go and you get stuck, just send me a direct message on Instagram. Be happy to help. I think it's a cool fun thing for people to try. So yeah, let's see what.
Fantastic. Thanks, Russ. Also, for anybody who doesn't know, Russ has been one of our long-term Rise Up and Carve members, and just a fantastic all-around guy. So thanks, Russ, for providing the template for this one.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see, who would like to start us off? Who wants to go first? Wave your hands into your camera. All right, John. I'm gonna just be sure you unmute yourself. Yep.
There we go. All righty. So I'll go first because I think I was maybe the first person to complete one.
Is that it hanging around your neck? That almost looks like a mini scoop.
Oh yeah, I'll do that later.
Okay.
Because that's the last one I did.
Ah.
I'll start with the first. The first one was actually the smallest.
Beautiful.
Spalted maple.
Really nice.
And then the other side wasn't quite as beautiful as this one, so I did a little Saturn on this.
Cool.
And which became kind of the inspiration for all of them. The second one I did was pretty close to the template.
Beautiful.
And I did a couple comments.
Yeah.
On this one.
Are those supposed to be the green comment that I've been reading about?
I should have used some green milk paint instead of
right.
I guess. So then I did a couple larger ones. Well, no, not larger, just less small. So the next one, I experimented. Each one I did a different type of handle on. And
Wow, you really went to town.
this one ended up having a moon on it.
Very cool.
A little different shape to it, but still pretty similar.
Yeah.
Half moon on one side and a full moon on the other side. And then the biggest one, I heard this rumor about him doing twisted handles. So I went and took a look, and yeah, Russ has several twisted handles. So the largest one that I did was this one.
I love it.
I didn't focus.
Very cool.
And so I did constellations on this, for rosing on these.
I guess that would be the Big Dipper.
That's the Big Dipper. Let's see if you recognize this one.
Orion.
No.
Is that the bear?
No, it looks like, oh, yeah, wrong.
Little
It's the Seven Sisters, the Pleiades.
Ah, the Pleiades.
It usually
Very
looks
nice.
like this in the sky.
Yeah.
Pretty small. And then the last one, I went the opposite direction and did a little tiny scoop.
That's the little meteorite version.
Right. That's the shooting star.
That's right. Very cool.
I haven't used the little one yet, but my wife has already uses picked out for the others, I think.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I posted these up on using the hashtag, and they seem to stay up for a couple days or maybe a day, and then they disappear. So who
That's
knows?
so annoying. Yeah, it's so irritating. Like I don't see it. I don't see your post at all, I don't think.
Yeah. I did a couple of them and they disappeared after a little bit.
Really annoying. What the heck is going on? All right. Anyway, sorry. Enough about that. Very nice job.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
I think, I don't know, that was how many in total that you carved?
So I did 5, including the necklace.
All right. He has set the bar, folks. We'll see. Does anybody have more than 5?
Well, I think the thing is I did the smallest ones.
That's impressive. All right. Who would like to go next? Wave your hand into your camera. Do, 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 do. Come on. All right. We'll go with Marla and then we'll go with Jürgen.
and sorry if my internet is choppy, but it's acting up. This is at 125% of the drawing that was on the page. And yeah, all I had was basswood, so I used basswood. And I pretty much tried to stick to the design, except I did make my handle a little fat and a little bit longer because I just felt like it was too. And like everybody says, the hardest part, getting the inside done smoothly.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I have 2 more in the works.
All right.
Hang on, wrong one.
All right. Very good.
And these are exactly the same prints out. I just hadn't, because I've had other fish I've been frying. The funny thing about the story of this is cut out a bunch of blanks, right? And it's already cut out and was going to carve it because it's a style and not a Russell. And someone says, you ought to save that and carve that because that's our next thing. I thought it was funny. The fact that I was just fixing to possibly do this was the next thing on the list.
Awesome. All right, great job. So you're gonna have a total of 3 or 4? Four when you're done. All right. You got a couple more to go to catch up with John. All right, thanks, Marla. Okay, Jürgen, I'm gonna spotlight you. All right, take it away, Jürgen.
All right. Yeah, so I got 2 gotten done. I did this one here.
Nice.
So I had to do the spiral just because
Russ,
puzzle, you know.
absolutely.
And I wanted to do the spiral because I hadn't done it since the first time when you had that first template on, but I was always thinking, man, I'd like to get back and do a couple of spirals, and this handle just led itself to doing it. So gave it a shot on it. It was fun. And then kind of did I made these a little bit in there so the hand fits in.
Yeah.
Long enough. So I made this in here so your hand will fit into that back side of the scoop. So it's a little more comfortable there.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a nice design solution. I like that.
Yeah, because the piece of wood I had gotten the this in it, but the handle was, I would have liked it to have been a little longer.
Yeah.
And then as my hand was on it, I'm like, well, I still got some material over here. So I just dug into it, and it fits nice. So, and then I needed another scoop. My wife's like, oh, I need a scoop for the, we have these little jars to put the spices in, and we get the spices in bags. She orders them, but it's always getting it into here. So I did this little scoop in.
Brilliant.
So it just fits. So
yeah,
can get it into there.
Yeah, scoop funnel. I love it.
The scoop funnel there. So yeah.
Did you tell us the wood?
Both of those are cherry. Yeah, and then I'll show you an older one I did, but this was before the time. But this was like when you say a big one, I did a big one for flour, big flour scoop.
Nice.
That I had done. And that one also, it just had a little bit in here. I did that for the hand here, but I didn't dig it into the bowl like I did on that first one I showed you. And yeah, and I'll just one other old one I had done.
Very nice.
That one had a knot sitting
right
in, so I had to deal with the knot. But yeah, the scoops are fun. So, and I
really like that glass jar bottle funnel one. You should trademark the term scuttle. That's your new scuttle.
Yeah. That'll work because it's always been, getting a spoon in there all the time.
Yeah.
Boy, it'd be nice to just funnel in the spices. So
awesome.
Another one, we end up using them all. They found places in the home. So these are the few of the items that actually really do get used.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I did I did it on the scoops here. I like that when you had that demo, it was cutting with the saw in, cutting those, making all those cuts, and that certainly helped to break the wood up, at least that top section a lot faster. So that was very useful.
Speeds up hogging out all that wood. Yeah,
it does. You can also do what I think I saw Marla had done, where you can actually drill into it as well.
Yeah.
If you're confident you're not going to go too deep, that works. Yes, that works really well. Yeah.
Very cool. Great job.
Forester bit. Right,
yeah. Did I see that you live in Groton, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I used to drive through there for probably 20 plus years, like several times a year, going to visit my parents when they lived in Hollis.
Okay.
And now they're in Nashua, so I tend to just take 495 all the way up to 3 and over. But yeah, beautiful area, beautiful town.
10 minutes away.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Jürgen. All right. Who would like to go next? All right, Jody. Up in the cold, frigid north of the New York state.
Morning.
But she's nice and toasty warm in her little shed.
Yeah, I just built a fire. It's not too bad. It's up to 40 in here now.
Very good. Now, do you call it a she
Sounds like
shed?
I said. Yeah, this is my studio. So here's my scoop. And it's made out of birch. And I would have liked to use something maybe like cherry, like a little bit harder, but the pieces of wood that I had already uncovered from the snow pile and out in the studio, this was the biggest one that I had. So this is at 150% from the printout. And the blank was not centered on the, you can see it's kind of like crooked center, you know, the sapwood and heartwood isn't.
Oh,
lined up.
gotcha.
I think whatever, it's fine. So it was fairly easy for me to do because it was birch, so it was pretty soft, but I was just trying to get through it without having any cracks around the edge and trying to make it as smooth as possible. I started out making the handle a little bit different, and then I decided that I would kind of make a up sweep and also a down sweep on it. So that's what my handle looks like.
I like
But
it.
feels comfortable. It's kind of has these wide facets, like chunky facets in the back.
Yep.
And I think I'll use it for my bird seed because that's just like for getting it into the feeder after you scoop it. I have been using just a tin can, so I think this will be a little bit more fun to use.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
I'm
certainly
going
far
to
more
do one-
stylish.
Yeah. I was gonna make one that was a smaller one out of different wood, and then I decided to do it one at a time. I've gotten into the bad habit of making two of something or multiple and then not finishing any of them. So I figured I would make one first and then finish that one, and maybe if I get around to it, I'll make a couple smaller ones out of some other wood.
Very
So
nice.
I had done a scoop a couple years ago when I was first starting, and it did not look like this. So I was happy to have a template to follow, and some kind of the instructions helped. I did saw into the wood to try to, it helped to establish the edge here of the side. So thanks, Russ.
You're welcome. That looks great.
Thank you.
Awesome. That looks fantastic, Jody. Great job. All right. Who would like to go next? All right, Morgan.
Hey, so I made a small scoop. It's tiny. I don't know percentage wise to the printout because I just kind of eyeballed it.
Okay.
But, I got finished with the draw knife work, and I really liked like how geometric it was. So I was like, I'm just gonna roll with these facets
Yeah.
that I had going on. So it's a little bit deviated from the drawing, but let me see if I can switch to my phone. So y'all can see it a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see that's more faceted and kind of like a little gemstone.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be, it's just like, I thought it'd be cool, but it was a lot harder than I thought to get all the lines straight, especially in here in these corners to get those. I don't have like chisels or anything. I do have like little teeny flex cut tools that I used for relief carving like back in the day, but that was what I used. So, but I really liked the template and doing a scoop. It's my first scoop. I wasn't sure how much time I'd have, so I was like, I'll do a small one. So I'll probably do a bigger one. I like the idea for the bird seed. That was a solid use of it. But yeah, this is Southern Sweet Gum. So it had really cool colors to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like a blackish red color, especially in here.
Yeah, I was gonna guess black walnut, but then I was like, but that it looks too, yeah, like reddish for
Yeah,
walnut.
so I got a bunch of it that last hurricane that came through South Carolina. I happened to be home right after
Ah,
it went through, so I got some and shipped it back to myself. And switch cameras again.
very
Yeah,
nice.
the flat rate shipping boxes are great for that because it weighs a ton, but you can still, if it fits, it ships. So
Where do
yeah.
you actually live?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Okay,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. If anybody ever wants to do a like billet swap or something, I have several of these sweet gum billets. If anybody wants to try it, so
There you go. Excellent. Great job.
thanks.
All right. Who would like to go next? All right, Chris.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted.
Okay. I made one out of cherry, 2-year-old cherry tree. I made the scoop 1.2 times the size of the template and followed it pretty close.
Yeah.
Again, new experience. I learned something. I'd never chiseled anything, any kind of woodworking project. I chiseled to remove girdling roots. So I made the saw cuts, started chiseling, and it wound up making square corners with a crack on both sides. So I learned about little relief cuts so you don't crack with a chisel.
Yeah.
And the CA glue closed the cracks up. But I did still have square corners. I continued to hollow almost the whole thing with the flat chisel.
Wow.
Which made it very rectangular. I clamped it down on a board.
Yeah, yeah.
Made it very square, and I wasn't thinking. I then had to use spoon knives, hook knives, to finish, and they don't go in square corners. So my back corners are square, another learning experience. I'm going to have to use a little sandpaper in there. But I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And the size is suitable to live in my wife's flower jar.
Yeah. Perfect.
So I will use chisels and gouges in the future, maybe for small bowls or the next scoop. Definitely going to keep them out of where I would like to have a round corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good for hogging off like the big ramp initially, you know, like Russ had shown in his animated thing. But then to get down into those bottom corners is when you got to start switching over to a rounded gouge or a you know, a spoon knife or whatever.
Yeah, the spoon knife would have been the right thing down in the corners and
no, it looks great though. It doesn't. I don't find it like unattractive the way you've done it. I think it looks nice.
Thank you. Little angular in there, and you can't see it there, but it's rough because it's chiseled.
Yeah.
But I cleaned that up with some sandpaper.
Yep.
I just finished it last night. I made a little depression for your thumb to hold it.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to work or not, but
I think it works well for a small size scoop where you're lifting light stuff. If you're trying to do something heavier, you'd probably want, you know, on a larger scoop, you probably want more of a substantial handle. But I think it works fine at that size, and certainly for flour.
Yeah, that's what we're going to use it for.
Yep.
So thanks, Russell. The saw relief cuts I never would have thought of on my own, so it really helped.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. All right. Who would like to go next? All right, Wade.
Morning, folks. How's it going? I thought this was really cool template. Thanks, Russ. And so I did one. Both of mine are in butternut because I had a butternut quarter of a log that I could get big enough billets out of. Butternut is very fuzzy when it's wet, so I didn't get real clean cuts on the inside yet because it's still pretty damp. But not any particular scale. It was whatever I could fit in the billet that I cut out. Draw knife work on the outside. I did the kerfing, and I agree with Jody that it was really nice to establish these inner walls, and then of course the 3 or 4 in the middle to cut it out. I do have some bent gouges, so most of the work was bent gouge work to get it out. I don't really have good interior corners yet, and I still got a pretty thick section. But like I said, this is still pretty damp, so I think I got time to work on it some more. I clamped most of the work was handle clamped in a shave horse. I did clamp across the bowl, and it cracked in the back. So I have a little bit of super glue. I'm glad someone else admitted to that too. On this side. And this is pretty much quarter sawn. It's like it's radial out of the log. So the grain goes right down the back here. And so one of the grain seams opened up. So that was good. I roughed that out and said, oh, that's nice. I think I need something a little smaller. And flower scoop was also my answer. So there is a flower scoop. Pretty much modeled after the metal one that I have in the flower bin right now, so I knew it would fit. So this, I got the walls much thinner on this one, no cracks. The back looks a lot nicer because I started using the spoon knife, like a real tight curve spoon knife there early on. So I got that nice transition in the back. So still a little fuzzy. I did some cuts on it Thursday night and it's still a little fuzzy. So it's got to dry some more, but it's in pretty good shape, and it's got a longish handle, so it's easy to get it out of the flour canister. So so cool project, and I'll probably make more of these because it really didn't take all that long to cut them out. It's the drying, those big sections in the back take a long time to dry. So but there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
excellent.
Thank you very much, Russ.
You're welcome.
All right. Who would like to go next? All right, John.
Hey guys, I did mine out of pear.
Ooh.
I don't know how I managed this, but it's got a nice honey kind of color that looks really good. I roughed it out. I used this big thing to get through a lot of it, so the middle part went kind of fast. But I don't know about you guys, but I just sort of started here, here, roughed it out, and then I spent a lot of time removing from here. My handle, I don't know, my piece of wood was 6 inches or 7 inches. So I laid out the template 7 inches long or 6 inches long, put it on there. And for whatever reason, this handle is too short. Like, I don't know how you guys get your handles right, but mine's like, it could go at least another inch, maybe a half inch. So I spent a lot of time trying to clear from the back, trying to lengthen it. So, it was at least 12, right? So, so I had a lot of fun. So I just kept removing from the bottom and, going into the base of it. And then at the very end, I thought I was done. And then I grabbed a hook knife and I just really worked really hard and cleared out the bottom here. And so it's got a really nice consistent depth and nice. So yeah, Russell, this was a really fun. I really enjoyed doing this one.
Yeah, that's a beautiful scoop. You did a great job.
Yeah,
That's
6
great.
inches is maybe a little bit too small for a flower, but we'll figure out something for it. I want it in the kitchen somewhere.
For those of you who like your coffee really strong.
Yeah, right.
Excellent. All right. Who would like to go next? Anybody else? Suzanne? All right. We have a world famous author of spoon horror, of green woodworking horror books. Come on, folks, get on it if you've not yet. It's
What
very
does she
good,
not do? Seriously.
right? It's excellent, by the way.
Well. One of my New Year's resolutions is to do all the challenges again and be more active again.
All right.
I looked at the template this morning and I went, oh, 28th of January. Wait a second, that's today. So
wait, you just did this morning?
Yes.
Holy crap. Well
actually
done,
went
you.
I went to the forest to get some wood. So yeah, it was a bit of a rush. So and this is how far I've gotten so far.
The wood you got didn't bleed when you cut it off the tree, did it?
Almost. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue with this one. It's starting to become fun though, so I might actually.
Oh,
but
keep it going. Got to keep it
Yeah.
going.
so yeah, so that's how far I've gotten until now.
That's pretty impressive considering you just started it today. So
Yeah,
not
and
bad.
I have a very, very funny video in production for Instagram about today. So
Awesome.
I think that's going to be better
What
than
wood is it?
Steve, actually.
What wood is it, Suze?
It's cherry. I don't know if you can see the pink, the slight pink hues.
Yeah,
So this like fresh from the tree cherry.
nice. That looks great.
Suzanne, I
coming.
think that would be a new challenge, is to do not start your project till the morning of
The show and tell.
that's pretty amazing, Susan. I'm really impressed.
You'll have to go.
Make the award for the fastest attempt at getting the scoop out.
Right. It's sort
Even
of
though it's not completely finished, it's scoopy enough.
It's sort of like Emmett's 10-minute spoon challenge. He tried to tried to carve a spoon in 10 minutes like several years ago. And it's pretty impressive actually. the speed challenge. Excellent. Really good. Awesome, Suze. I'm really shocked that you managed to get that far all on the same day of the show and tell. Impressive.
That blows my mind, Suze.
Well, it is what it is.
Were you playing cello simultaneously?
Yeah.
She'll have a little mini chainsaw in one hand, a cello and bow propped in the other arm,
And some sandpaper between my toes.
Yeah, or typing your sequel to your book with your toes. There you go. It's like the Rick Wakeman of the spoon carving world.
There's a new cartoon idea for you.
That's right. Love it. Brilliant. Well done, Suze.
That's
All
very
right.
impressive.
Who has not had a chance to go yet? Kaylin. All right. Oh, Maz. There's the Maz man. I see you there, Mazzy. All right, Kaylin, I'm going to spotlight you and you'll take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Russ, for the great template. And I'll have to actually thank John for the motivation for me to carve this, because I joined carving on Thursday night and he's like, how's your scoop coming along? And I was like,
Deer in the
"Scoops?
headlights.
Oh my gosh."
Scoop? What scoop?
I was like, that's this week. Where did January go? It went by real quick. So I am not a
Thanking me
today
or blaming
carver.
me?
Yeah. You inspired me, John, so it's good. But I started mine yesterday, so it was a little bit of a mad dash. Not as mad dash of as Sue's, but close. And I did have a big chunk of birch that I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing with. And so I didn't technically like expand the printout. I just printed it regular scale and then kind of made it fit to the piece of wood that I had. And it's going well. I would consider it roughed out. I'm going to let it dry. And then, man, some of you have really beautifully smooth bowls. I have no idea how you got those. So once this dries, I'm going to need to like sharpen my knives to get in there to smooth it out really well. But I left it kind of faceted on the bottom and then rounded it a little on the top. And then my handle, when I was axing and doing work, I wanted to leave a bit of a tongue here to keep it strong. And I was intending to carve it off, but I kind of like it. It's a little bit of a Cooksa-y style.
Yeah, I like it.
Handle. And the capacity is bigger than I was expecting. So I think it's like 2.5, 3 cups. So hopefully we have things you can dig it out. But my partner brews beer and he got into recently milling his own malted grains. So we have these giant plastic tubs of grains. So when I was carving a scoop, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna like. We don't use flour. We have tiny flour bags. And he's like, well, the grain works. And so once it dries, I'm going to be doing some chip carving and painting. And so there'll be a barley grain on the front of the handle, and then there'll be a hop spine on the back of the handle, just for kind of his beer brewing. So birch coming along nicely. I am a little nervous about the back splitting while it dries, so I'm going to dry it out slowly. I probably won't get to it for a week or two to do the finishing cuts. But it's a fun one. It's a good challenge, Russ. Thanks for, I think this is one of those Sloyd projects that I've seen other people do. And I'm like, that looks nice, but that also looks like a lot of work. And I did similar to John. I just put this down in and I treated it like bowl carving, and I've got quite a few gouges. So the main work was pretty easy, and then just finding a way to get it a little smooth. Sharpening my knives hopefully will help out a bit. Yeah,
it looks fantastic. You know what, when you said Cooksa, can you hold it up showing the side?
Yep.
One of the first things I thought of is that big area of at the front of the handle, drilling a hole through there for a finger hole.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that could be cool, just to kind of have it.
Yeah,
here.
it gives you like just an additional grip, especially if you're lifting grain or, you're really getting in and scooping, stuff.
Into there. I like that. Yeah, that would be a cool decorative element. And talk about like the grain changes on a spoon handle. All of a sudden, this whole area is frustrating.
Oh yeah, because you're all cutting. It's all end grain across the back of that scoop.
So big.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, I get to enjoy that for a really long time.
Yeah.
But it's good. And this birch, thankfully, was kind enough wood for me to get through it decently quickly. So
well, I have to admit, some of the wood that I was going to try and use, I've been carving like a spoon, and it's out of this spalt. You can't really see it because I got it in the plastic bag, but it's this spalted maple that I have, and it's hard. It's like, and it's still green, but it's hard. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be trying to scoop it now. I was going to try to do a smaller, scoop, basically at the size shown on the template. And between time just being too tight and then realizing how hard that would, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good.
That's gorgeous. Beautiful job. I like the facets on it. I think it looks really nice. All right. Has anybody else not yet had a chance to go who has something to show? All right, Russ. Wait, Mozzie, did you have anything for this challenge that you wanted to show?
I have one that has already been shipped to my 90-year-old grandmother.
Ah.
I did not unfortunately save it to share today, but I will post pictures.
Okay, very good. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and announce this now. I don't know if anybody has been up to look yet, but our next challenge is a cooking spoon by Mozzie. So the template is up on riseupandcarve.com on our challenge page. RUAC Spoon Challenge 48, and the show and tell will be Saturday, February 18th at 9 a.m. Eastern. So, all right, thanks, Moz. And thanks as always to Sunny Beach for putting together our PDFs and getting them posted up onto the site. All right, Russell, I'll spotlight you.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for giving this a go. So I thought if everyone else is going to have a go, perhaps I should as well. So I made this one. Hold it up.
Wow.
It's not finished yet. It's quite big.
Is that a scoop or a weapon?
You could probably use it as a weapon as well, I think. You know, it doesn't actually, you can put your hand in here, you can use it as a hook.
There you go.
So yeah, this I made from some wood that was given by a customer. A kind lady called Angela gave me some redwood, which I thought, oh, that'll be really soft, really easy. Wrong. It had all kinds. It had more hidden knots in it than you can shake a stick at. It had, in fact, you can even see one just there.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of letting dry real slowly. So I'll put this back in the wood chip in a little while. And I thought on the back I'll try something a little bit different so that kind of sticks up.
Very cool.
And yeah, it was quite a short piece of wood, and you can see, yes, there's yet another knot just there, but I thought I'd do like a hook so it makes it quite easy to hold on to.
Yeah.
This if you want to, but yeah, this will probably need to dry for another couple of days, and I might kind of finish off the inside. It looks like a plowed field right now. You can see that in there. But there was quite a bit of material to come out, so I was glad that I remembered about the cuts. You know,
yeah.
Take your own advice. So yeah, that's mine, and that will go on when I start doing some craft fairs again this year. So
that's really beautiful. I like the bottom back side of that. That's really cool the way you're doing that.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, from the craft fairs that I've done, the scoops just fly off the shelf. Really, people just love it because they're just so useful. And you can do all kinds of sizes. They're good for anything from spices right the way up to flour and yeah, now millet and hops and things for brewing. I hadn't even considered that. So that's another, you know, these will be brewing scoops, which makes it even more interesting, right?
There you go.
Yeah, so that's mine. And thank you everyone for having a go at this kind of, it's quite challenging. So I'm delighted that people gave it a shot. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Russell. Excellent job. That's a gorgeous scoop. That's going to be really cool.
Thank you very much.
All right, so assuming we got everybody, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'll quickly walk through whatever I can see on Instagram. Like we said earlier.
Chuck,
yeah.
Chuck, before you do that, I've got a couple other scoops to show. That's okay.
Okay.
They have nothing to do with this template. They're ones that I made before, but we were talking about getting the scoops to fit in the container, the right depth and stuff. This is my wife's flour container, and the scoop that I made for her is this shape here, and I chip carved it, and so the pattern of the chip carving shows up as the white flour, which I thought
cool.
An interesting effect. How
it's like reverse coal rosing.
Exactly. You don't have to use cinnamon or coal. And then there was 2 scoops that I had made for our dog food. For his dry food, the long handle didn't really work because you had to stick it so far down into it in order to close the container up. So the scoop I made for this was really a little bowl with a tiny little miniature handle on that. So
very cool.
Because the container, there was no room for but the other dog food we give him is wet food that comes out of a bag. And when the bag is full and soft, when the bag is almost empty, it's helpful to have a scoop that will go down to the bottom So I made this one with a really long handle, and so that and kind of a sharp edge here, so we can scoop in and get everything down.
Very
That's
nice.
just kind of the two opposites of
Yeah,
what you need them to do. So kind of vary the length of the handle.
I love the otter on that handle. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
I like doing the sea animals.
Yep. Excellent. Well, and that's, I mean, that's honestly, that's one of the beauties of woodworking, right? Of carving these things, is you can have very specific things, very specific to your need. It's just, you're only bounded by your imagination and, you know, what you can come up with for your specific requirement. So it's really cool. Really, really cool. All right. Great job, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen and we'll go through some of the Instagram photos real quick. And the other thing I'll go ahead and announce, don't forget about this afternoon. In 3 hours, we have Jody's dad, who's gonna be doing our American chestnut presentation about his work to try to restore the American chestnut and get it to come back. As you may or may not know, chestnut was one of probably the biggest not cash crop, but crops. Like the American continent was settled in large part thanks to chestnut, because it was everything from wood that was needed for whatever, you know, settlers were making, to food supplies for both people and animals. And it was really instrumental to the founding of this country. And unfortunately, due to I guess it's a blight that came in on a foreign species that came into the country of chestnut, it infected the American chestnuts and nearly wiped them all out. And so Jody's dad has done a lot of work and a lot of research into working to restore or come up with strains of the chestnut that are resistant to that blight. So he's doing a presentation about that in 3 hours time right here on Rise Up and Carve. And that will also be recorded and posted. Okay, so with that, let me share my screen to here. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Actually, I'm going to just go through the top post for some. Well, I guess I'll start right at the bottom. So here was the first one, and this was that wonderful spice jar funnel scoop.
Chuck,
really fantastic.
I can't see your screen.
Oh, I had one more dialog box to hit the share. Sorry. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So go back. So really, really cool. I love this. This is a brilliant idea. I love the facets on the handle. Really, really nice. It's just that the proportions, it just looks very elegant. Really, really nicely done. Okay, Jody's for her birdseed scoop. Again, beautiful work on the faceting. Love it. Very nice. That was just the post about the reminder. Tiny little scoop in progress. This was Marla's getting her work in progress.
What's annoying is it doesn't show my finished one on the hashtag.
Yeah, Instagram's hashtags, they're acting up. Very nice.
Yeah, I have to get back and add the finished pictures. So that was the roughing out day. So
All right. Very nice. That is really beautiful. One rhododendron and one oak. With, of course, a thistle handle. Awesome. It's the little scoop that could. Love it. More in progress. Scoop handle flowers. Very nice. Yeah, that pear is really pretty.
You got it so smooth, John. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like the trick is you can't get too carried away in the, the deep part of the bowl. You gotta leave it kind of rounded.
Got
Yeah.
it.
You just want to dig down in there and get rid of it, but you gotta kind of like leave it like a bowl down there. It's challenging.
that is a trick.
Love
So
that honey golden color. Really, really pretty. Nice. Really love the spiral handle. I like how you left it sort of a squared spiral too, as opposed to trying to round it off.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to work, but it came.
It looks really cool.
When I do another one, I'm not going to do it twisted like that, but I love the flare in the back of that, the shoulders, the haunch of the
Yeah.
back of the bowl.
Yeah. Really nice. Spalted hackberry. Wow.
Pretty wood.
That is super pretty. Beautiful job too.
That's
Got it
really
really
nice.
nice and thin. Look at that. Really impressive.
It's like almost zebra wood. It's so spalted.
Right? Really impressive. Gorgeous. And that's all I've got. That's all I can seem to get on my Instagram. So I guess that's a pretty spectacular one to finish off on. Stop sharing. Wow. Well, again, thank you so much, Russell. This was a wonderful challenge. People really went to town with it. Really some beautiful work that everybody did out there. So fantastic all. And yeah, so don't forget, February 18th, show and tell. Get working on your Mozzie's template, RUAC Spoon Challenge 48 for a nice large cooking spoon. And yeah, we'll see you the next time. Thanks, everyone.
And
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
started
Russell.
on this one.